The review I just saw, I've been wanting to see it. Never had the opportunity in time to watch Spider-Man Into the negative reactions just to watching it. I decided to rewatch it without those irritations, bias notions, and whatever. And I tried to just judge the movie as a whole. The movie's pretty good. The movie's not too bad. Now, in this, I guess I kind of wonder for myself, but why can't characters just because it's like you see characters. Well, actually, let me make this premise. America isn't it so special because it's not a homogenized country. It's just not. It has a majority, and it's, you could say it's European, but honestly, it could be a mix of anybody. I mean, anybody with a fair, lighter skin. It could be European, Polish, German, Swedish, Czechoslovakian, just the whole 9 yards. So take it to that account. It's a hard notion, but at the same time, it's not like I'm going to ignorantly say that they're being underrepresented. I don't know if they are, but our media isn't really quick to take those notes of saying, hey, he's Czechoslovakian, he's German, the common face in the majority. And I say that majority, but if it is a racial preference for white skin versus dark skin and the social implications and the stereotypes thereof, I think in a sense it's in a sense denying a sense of diversity within white culture itself. And people may not care, but that's gonna be their issue. I remember back in the day, they said the Irish, they weren't considered to be, they were considered second-class citizens at one point. Don't know how they got to where they are now. Don't know. I always think they're pretty cool with the accent. Well, their native accent, I always thought that was cool, and stuff like that. But not stuff like that because I don't know too much. I mean, Brave was a good movie. I like that. I like the accent there in the Gaelic, but more so the accent that blends into the English. But this gets me back to America itself. America is very diverse, but America follows its own majority culture. You may say, what is that? And I'm not going to sit here and justify what that is. It's what you typically would see on TV. If you see a white person, they speak a certain way. If you see a newscast, professionally, they speak a certain way. No matter the color, they have a certain way of doing things. And that's just in America's heritage. So the face of an American when a foreigner looks and say, if they point out people and they say, what is an American? They typically look at a white American. And I just say it is what it is. Let's just not make a big deal, but just accept it. And then when you realize, oh, you're American, it's all those associations about what America may be. Maybe we're people who overconsume. Maybe we're people who are ignorant. Maybe we're people who just care so much about our social bubble. I just saw this video of this lady, I forget, from the BEJ, Black Experience Japan, and how she was culturally Japanese, but she was black. And then she had to understand and maybe even value what it meant to be black culturally, even though she looked black. Her identity, perhaps, was through name as a foreigner. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, as a foreigner. But simply, she wasn't really identified in racial terms. And the culture is simply different. It's Japan versus Gaijin. Ethnicity, nationality is Gaijin. So, and I've heard plenty of from the same channel of different people. They say it's a lot safer. You're not criticized quickly for your skin color or the implications thereof, because there are no implications. There is no negative stereotype of apart from what they've seen. Basketball player, rapper, hip hop, stuff like that. Just things that they've seen. But let's go back to Into the Spiderverse. It's diversity. Now I hear from people who perhaps not full-blooded, these proud, patriotic Americans, perhaps. It could be just a commoner. But it's just like this new generation. They are pretty upset. I mean, they can be upset about diversity. And to me, part of the irritation is diversity is poorly implemented. Poorly implemented. So you'll have a story and you have a person from a different culture who was represented. One of them being the popular Teen Titans. And I guess her name is Cora. You know, and she's there. She's well known. And I mean, I guess not, but you know, she's the Starfire character. And not only do they have problems with her face and her costume, but they say she's just European features. And again, of course, I'm like, I don't know what her official comic book costume is. I don't. I typically just know about the Teen Titans, the cartoon series. Not even the newer one, like the older one that had the anime inspirations. So given that, people are just, they don't like it because it promotes this. It's like she's wearing all this weird clothing, and also she's black instead of orange. And on top of that, she has this long curly hair from what I understand. Because I played, what do you call it? Marvel Universe, the MMO. And she looks completely different. I was kind of shocked. I was like, oh wow, she don't look like the Starfire from the anime series. But it was like, maybe that's the actual look from Starfire. And ultimately, she doesn't look European. She doesn't look like the common standard alien with Eurocentric features. But you know, as far as I can tell, I don't know if that's curly hair is a European attribute. Could be, but she basically has these long wavy hair. From what I can understand, it's not totally straight. From what I can understand, but yeah. And so I'm sorry, I'm doing all this to give examples, just like because it's like back in the day, especially during the Razor's time, the standard was developed. The standard, it wasn't just because I'm like Stan Lee was great. He fought through his comics. He fought for civil rights through his comics. I think that's great. It's great, but during the time, could you have a black Superman? I was reading up these videos, Blue Marble. Could you have a black Superman? Probably not. And as you see all these ideas, especially these ideas, like you see these characters, they have character. You know, like for instance, X-Men. I just recently realized X-Men. I saw for people, X-Men was a representation of civil rights in its own way, and I didn't even know that the two rivals, Charles Xavier and the person who plays Magneto, were gay lovers, and they just weren't together. You know, I had no idea, and so it's just a point of diversity. You know, that's even diversity done right. But yeah, going back to the Spider-Man to the Spiderverse, I think if people want an authentic version of what it means to be black, you should look to corporate to do it. They have their own interests. They're out to make money. They're out to find some sort of guarantee and have that shared happy medium of producing entertainment and quality content to people who will pay. I mean, think about it. Black Panther, these are people who were culturally influenced and they pay top dollar. You know, they pay top dollar. You got Cap Marvel. To me, market who was pay top dollar for it. I'm sorry. because it appealed to them. Appealed to a certain audience, and that audience delivered. So it's like, again, if you want to make a media a production, A, it's got to be quality. You got to have a general message for everybody, like even your target audience. And B, have those things that the audience is typically looking for, have that be fulfilled. Into the Spiderverse is great because I know people, they complain about equality. I mean, they complain about diversity in their comments. Diversity in their media. So taking that into account, I think that's Into the Spiderverse was a great movie. Not just about Miles Morales. I mean, we've been wanting one. You know, like for instance, get one for Donald Glover, but the idea at the end of it is said that anybody can be Spider-Man. Anybody can wear the mask. At first, I didn't understand it at first. But it's like, the idea is that anybody can wear the mask. Anybody. And as you see through the Spider-Verse, it is worn by a plethora of people. Even past species. Target animals. So, include everybody else. So it's calling it the Spider-Verse. Not Miles Morales, his adventure, trying to understand to be Spider-Man. Still great movie. Again, if you want an authentic experience, you're gonna have to make it yourself. I'm an artist. I have to pick up, not just put black Spider-Man or black superhero. A black superhero does everything you want him to do, and he's the best, and he has no challenges, and he has no humanity. He has no struggles, no highs, no lows. You know, he's just not a hero. You'd make him a boring version of Superman. You know, people say Superman sucks. Superman isn't great because he's Superman. From what I understand, I haven't read too many of his comics, but Superman is great because of how he, being an omniscient person, interacts with his environment that isn't omniscient. That'd be extremely boring. At the end of it, it's a quality film. It's a quality film. And I get it. Even people are trying to incorporate different people of different ethnicities. But just like in Black Panther, for me, culturally speaking, it didn't even just occur. It didn't just have African American people in there. It had African people in there, and it had influences from there. I'd like to think with any medium, to have a good audience and a good film, not just have it for what the audience wants, but let it be a quality work. Don't just throw people in there with different races to say, hey, I keep thinking like the actor needs a living, but it's like an actor can probably maintain a better living being in an appropriate place, because at least they're wanted. They're not just used for they're not used for a wishful thinking. For a sense of wishful thinking in terms of equality and diversity. That they're actually needed, necessary. And Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse did a great example of that. So, at the end of the day, maybe we need some balance. Maybe we don't need as many people. Because it's like, we can't have the super friends. And on top of that, we need to run that by people. You can't just make a story, put blackface on it, and just say, he's black, yay. I mean, you can, but you probably limit some people. So one thing that's good is to incorporate just good storytelling, good experiences, maybe even a journey experience. But yeah, America is changing a lot. And so, in order to counteract that, it can't assume that the general populace is just white, you know, and it's saying, oh, we weren't doing it in the first place. Well, I mean, it's not like people who weren't white, weren't looking at characters like Spider-Man and stuff and saying, okay, these people are great, but where am I in it? Of course, you could say, yeah, I'm in there because he's showing moral things and virtuously moral things. But at some point, you might have to ask yourself, where am I? Where am I in this? They don't look like me, and I get it. People who live in a culture that's familiar to them don't think too much. So at the end of this, I guess we just need to be a little more, not just mindful, but just be smarter and see what's feasible, what's reasonable. Be more reasonable. I think that's it. Be more reasonable. I keep thinking in my mind I have something more to say, but diversity ain't a problem. I don't think diversity is a problem. I think attacking it from a smart position is a better response to diversity rather than having high hopes and including people on paper, but an application is poor. So that's what I got to say. All right, take care, guys. I hope you like this review. Decent movie, very stylistic, very diverse character range. Had people in there I had no idea if there was in there Nicolas Cage and other people. Had no idea.